And this, guys, is why we do not stream off schedule. Everything's a mess this morning. Hi, how you doing? How are we doing? I'm just all over the place today already. Got that little bit of a misstart going at the beginning of things, and then screwing up the playlist, and yeah. But I had the time, and I wanted to hang out with people today. So let's get started. We're gonna be in a different game today. We're not gonna be doing our usual stuff. We're gonna be in Guild Wars 2 instead of Minecraft. Let's talk about why we're in Guild Wars 2 instead of Minecraft. Shall we? Doing good, Unseen. How are you? Hop over to this browser. Okay. So, let's talk about why we're in Guild Wars 2 instead of Minecraft today. Yesterday, ArenaNet, the publishers for Guild Wars 2, dropped a very short teaser on their Instagram that basically featured this art that we're looking at here now. This isn't the full art. The person who has this posted has only part of it posted, but I couldn't find the full art without, like, grabbing it off of somebody else's video, and I didn't want to do that. So, this art itself was sent to Guild Wars 2 / ArenaNet partners, so other community content creators, basically. And it coincides with the teaser that they posted on their Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2, and ArenaNet social media accounts. There's some small differences to it, but nothing significant. And what you can't see here is at the bottom, there's these words, raise your banner, and Friday's date. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can't find the raise your banner thing real fast. Okay. There we go. So this is what is at the bottom of the teaser that got sent out to all of the partner people. Good to hear, Unseen. I'm glad you're doing well. And I'm just showing this because I'm going to come back to it in a second. But let's go back to this art first. So this is the actual art. This is the teaser. All the little Instagram post does is it does this little side pan shot over this art. It includes some extra stuff that we're not seeing in this art. But the biggest thing that everyone is focusing on are these arches in the background. So this here, all these back here. There's a lot of theories going around about what's being teased here. I have my own theories, and I will state my own theories because other people have stated their theories now, but I have my own theories. Let's take a look. This person also posted some other concept art. And this is all concept art for Guild Wars 2. Now, this teaser that we looked at here, we don't know what this teaser is for. We'll find out on Friday. But this is all Guild Wars 2 concept art. So you've got this. It's got those same arches. Here you've got very similar arches. They're slightly different. But then come down here, you've got all these exact same arches. And everyone is saying that this teaser is for ore. Now, give me a second. I want to see if I can't find one more thing real fast. So I'm going to pop up our be right back screen, but I'm still here. We're not going anywhere. I want to see if I can't... Okay, so we've got this here. This is some more of the teaser art. This is the teaser art that's in the video. So one of the things that is added is this. And that's not in the concept art that was sent to the partners. And you can see here, this entire thing is kind of faded out in fog. But if we come back to that, we know that that is what is these arches back here. One more thing. Let me pop off one more time. I really want to see if I can't find... Yes! Okay, this is good. This is the best one that I've found so far. Okay, and shut this off. And so here is the whole art that is panned in the video that they posted. I'll shut the board off for a second so that you guys can see everything. And so, okay, so you can see the city in the art that was sent to the, in this art here. You can see this waterfall down here. There we go. It should be back here, but it's hidden. It's the same guy, it's the same banners. We've got some more water. What we don't see in anything except this video are these aqueducts. And part of what I want to do today is, so everybody is saying that this art is ore. Let's go back to this one. We're going to hop into some of the playable zones for ore real fast, so you can see why everybody is saying that. And then I want to see, very briefly, we're not going to spend a lot of time looking for it, if we can't find ruins of these aqueducts. There's only a couple of places that I'm going to look, but I want to see if we can't find it real fast, because if we can, that basically confirms everybody's theory that whatever this is for, it goes back to ore, and that's going to tie back into my theory. So, let us head into game. I am actually already in one of the ore maps. I'm in Malicor's Leap right now. Because I was already kind of looking into this last night. Like, I was straight up hard digging into this. Okay, for those of you who are not familiar with Guild Wars lore, which I think is honestly most of my viewers, ore was devastated about 250 years ago in game time. A necromancer, for lack of better words, came through, used some sort of scepter / curse, and basically sunk the entire continent of ore, which is all of this area, under the ocean. Now, about 150 years after that, one of the main antagonists of the core story, Zaitan, who was the Dragon of Death, rose up, and when he rose up, he brought ore back up to the surface with him. So that's why ore looks like this. That's why everything is in ruins. You see all of these corals everywhere. And that's why ore looks like that. And did it? Oh, I see what's going on here. And not this. So this, if it is ore, is pre-cataclysm ore, as best as anybody can tell. This is ore pre-Guild Wars 1. If it is ore. So we're gonna see if we can't find some of these ruins real fast. I don't know that we're gonna be able to, but I want to see if I can't manage. There's a couple of places that I know to look. We're just gonna hop. We're gonna look at those places real fast. If we find them, great. If we don't, oh well. And then after we get done hopping around Aura for a few minutes, we're going to go to the story area that I said we were going to be working on. And you can see here, right in front of me, one of the reasons why so many people are saying that that art is ore. And that's one of these ruined arches right here. So these arches, in theory, used to be basically in the sky, and that is, you can't see it very well from here, but there's a remnant of an arch right here that does, in fact, go all the way up past, like, the cloud line. Now, I'm looking at some of this architecture already, right here. We're gonna ignore that Hero Point train. They're very generalized arches. This isn't an aqueduct at all. Those arches look like insanely similar to some of these arches here. Okay, let's keep going. I'm still looking for something that's a little bit more definitively, like, these were for sure aqueducts. See, those arches look very similar too, but again, I wouldn't... Those could potentially be chunks of aqueduct left behind. Let's go this way. I don't think we're supposed to be able to see this part, so, or this map was created well before flying mounts were a thing. I'm pretty certain we're not supposed to be seeing that. Although we can see it kind of a little here anyway. Alright. See, here's more of those arches that have fallen. More over there. Now, wait a second. Keep in mind that if this is pre-Cataclysm, or this is 250 years after the fact, after it's sat in water for ages. What is this? Is this a POI on the map? It's not a POI on the map. But this could very easily be that. This tower. I may be digging. I may be stretching. Let's keep looking. We don't find anything that's definitively those aqueducts over here. That's not an aqueduct though, is it? It's a building of some sort. Okay. That's some sort of corrupted water plant. These are all corrupted water plants. Oh, but look at this over here. Those are walls. Those could potentially be the remnants of an aqueduct. Maybe. Or it's coral. I may be looking into it too much. We're at the edge of the map, aren't we? Oh, we are not. Yeah, we are, basically. Okay, so let's go, can't go that. Oh, I'm in combat. Hi, risen chicken. We don't see the city well enough up close to know if, like, this detail it is there in that screenshot. I'm gonna come over here to Verdant's Waypoint. See if we can't get something over here that could potentially be those aqueducts. And the reason why I'm looking at this area specifically is because there's like a major aquifer back in here. So if there are aqueducts nearby, it would be in relationship to this area. But I'm not seeing anything over here. What we can see, though, is the city of Ara and the stairs leading up to the city of Ara. Where we can see those arches a little bit better, those circles a little bit better. Same with over here. You can see the arches more right there. There's one more area that I know to go to look to see if we can find aqueducts. And we'll go check that out in a second. I'm definitely not seeing aqueducts here. But we can see all those circles and everything. So let's go, I'm gonna have to change maps. Or change characters real fast. I'm gonna pop us down to Castora. Wait, do I have... I do have access to Alona. I'm gonna have to dig into this a little bit more, but I did some digging last night that suggested that there could be similar arches in Alona. So we'll have to check that out. Let me swap characters real fast, though, and see about going to this one area. This last zone in ore that we don't have access to. That could also potentially have those aqueducts. Characters swap. I think... Not you. It'll be you. Yeah. Siren's Landing would be the other area that would have those aqueducts. And we can see it has those same arches everywhere. Okay. So they're up in the sky. You can see some more of those arches. They go up to the sky a whole lot better here than they do in Alistair Rock. Okay. Than they do in the ore maps, but it's still ore. Here we go. More of those circles. So one thing that I've seen a lot of people comment on, like why they're like, I don't think it is ore, is because all of the metal pieces here, all the circular pieces and everything are very metallic. And in that art that we get, if I pop back to it real fast. Give me a second. Here. It all looks very like white and marble and granite. So a lot of people are arguing against it being ore for that reason. I don't think that necessarily means anything personally, but that's just me. I think the fact that we have these giant ass arches everywhere is more indicative of it being ore than it not being ore. We don't have this kind of architecture, as far as I'm aware, anywhere else in either of the games. I don't have an easy waypoint that I can access. There's like a Coliseum type building right there that has those same type of arches that we see on the aqueducts. Definitely not over here. And it's not gonna be in there. So I'm not seeing off the top of my head, I'm not, or like immediate observation, I'm not finding anything that has the potential to be those aqueducts. That's not to say that, you know, okay, let's look at the map here real fast. This entire area is ore. So we could be seeing, if it is a raw, which there's a lot of indication to suggest that it may be a raw, we could be seeing anything from any of these angles. It could also just be that the aqueducts didn't survive the cataclysm and therefore did not survive Zaitan raising them back up out of the ocean. There's any number of explanations for why we may not be able to find those aqueducts. Let's check out Straits of Devastation real fast. We didn't check out Straits of Devastation. I don't think it is Straits of Devastation, though, for what it's worth. You guys get to come with me while I theory craft things like teasers. There's another one of those massive arches again. Crippled bridges. No? I mean, crippled bridges, that could allude to some sort of broken aqueducts that we can't see. Oh, what's this right here? Guys, I think we found our aqueducts. Nope, it's still just another building. Okay, but the sheer number of things that have those similar arches, I think, is too great to be a coincidence. So I'll add that to the, you know, the plus of it very likely being ore. Look over here through the packed landing area. See, even here you can see right up there, again, very similar probably not aqueducts like what we saw, but the almost identical arch structure. Now, so I'm an art major. I did 2 semesters of art history. I will be the first to tell you that this being similar to what we're seeing in that concept art means absolutely nothing. But it does add to the potential of it being related. So, let me go one more place real fast. We also have... I'll have to get on my skimmer for this. Let's go under the water here. We've also got all of this down here that didn't get raised up. Now, am I saying that what we're looking for is out here? Absolutely not. I am saying it's possible. I'm not seeing anything that definitively shows that it's out here. Oh, we're at the end of the map. Also, I just want to say that the activity that we're seeing out in these maps right now is the most active that I have seen these maps in ages. So, a lot of people are leaning into the ore theory, I think. I'm still not seeing anything that is remotely aqueduct-like, though. So I don't think we're gonna find anything. Let me go up to Lion's Arch real fast. We have... Itchy. I have one more thing that I want to check out. Give me 1 second. High Bluffs. My access to High Bluffs. An access to High Bluffs. Where does it say it is? don't know how accurate what I'm finding is. Give me a second here. Displaced with Sears Tower. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. We're going to come up here real fast. I'm not saying we're going to find anything, but a quick Google search suggests that we may potentially find something. If we can get in there. I don't know that we can get in there, if I'm being completely honest. It has been years since I've done anything on this map. We may not be able to get in there. It may require some sort of map or meta that's been ongoing. We'll find out in a second. Okay, we can, in fact, get in here. Alright. Not seeing what is being suggested we should see. Let's go in here. What is this area?
All the enemies you ever faced were actually
Not what I'm looking for either. This is most definitely not what I'm looking for. Ow. I have played this before, yes. It has been, since I was in this zone, it has probably been 5 or 6 years since I was last playing this zone. So it's been a really long time. So what I was finding basically says that this is a sort of kind of like a time rift of ore before it was destroyed, this area is. But it doesn't give me what I was looking for. The only other area that we have that could give us something similar, supposedly. Let us hop here. I don't know. I don't think this one is accurate. But we'll hop in real fast. We'll take a look. Enter. And then once we get done exploring this, we're going to get started on the story. And yeah. No, I don't want to see the cinematic. I want... brief. Okay. Yes, I would like to continue. Yeah, that's what I thought. This isn't at all accurate. Okay, let's leave. Okay, so let's swap characters, and we're gonna talk some of my theories here. The first and long discussed theory is that the teaser that we're getting is for Guild Wars 3. There is a lot of community discussion that's going around that Guild Wars 3 is something that has been in progress for a while. If you look at ArenaNet hiring trends going back all the way to 2022, they were hiring artists and game designers for Unreal Engine 5 as far back as 2022 for a, quote, unannounced project. They are still hiring artists and game developers and all of that for Unreal Engine 5 for said unannounced project. So the teaser could be for that project, which a lot of people think is Guild Wars 3. There was a leak-ish sort of... A statement was made by NCSoft, who owns ArenaNet, back in 2023, I think it was, that all but said Guild Wars 3 was going to be a thing. But that's the only thing that we've really heard about that, officially / unofficially. So the theory is that the Unreal Engine 5 unannounced project is Guild Wars 3, as kind of hinted to in that communication. If that is the case, and if this art that we're seeing is in fact ore, then that would say that Guild Wars 3 is going to either be a prequel to the entire series or going to be set so far in the future that the ore that we just explored has been restored, which if you play through the game, Season 3, which goes to Siren's Landing, which is that last area that we were in, before we went to Straits of Devastation, so the second to last area that we were in. The NPCs hint at trying to find a way to restore ore. So if it's Guild Wars 3 and this is ore, it's either way in the future or way in the past ore. We don't know we don't know that it is, or we don't know that it's Guild Wars 3. The next theory that has been tossed about is that this is a teaser for the next expansion pack for Guild Wars 2. And a lot of the partners are saying they don't think that's what it is, because we're on let me see. We had Secrets of the Obscure, Janther Wilds, and now Visions of Eternity. So we're on our third mini X pack. If this is the next mini X pack, the fourth one, none of those three before did the partners receive this kind of teaser. And yeah, the marketing, the digital marketing was fairly similar and kind of teasery, but the partners didn't receive this type of teaser marketing. So the idea that it is a new expansion pack for Guild Wars 2 is kind of low. And then there is the theory that I think is the case. I don't think we're seeing Guild Wars 3 just yet. We could be. I could be wrong. I think what we're seeing is an expansion pack for Guild Wars 1. And here's why I say that. Give me 1 second, because I closed tabs I didn't mean to close. Let me find... Okay. Let me close out my extra things here. Okay, so this is why I think it's Guild Wars 1. For more than one reason. First of all, if you've been following Guild Wars at all, you are familiar with Guild Wars Reforged. Guild Wars Reforged is ArenaNet's remastering of Guild Wars 1. The graphics have supposedly been updated. I personally haven't really seen a difference. But they've been adding newer mechanics. They've been updating the game, which they hadn't done in almost 10 years prior to this year. Prior to December, I think, is when the first Reforged update hit. On top of that, later this summer, probably, I think later this month, actually, Guild Wars 1 is coming to mobile. Am I thrilled for the idea of Guild Wars 1 coming to mobile? No, not at all. But that's what they're doing. They're bringing it to mobile, and they have said that, you know, the core game will be free to play, but then the expansions will be microtransactions, and other things will be microtransactions. And I think what is ultimately going on there is Guild Wars Reforged on mobile is going to be their way to bring in the extra funding to finish up Guild Wars 3. That's part of the reason why I don't think what we're seeing these teasers for is Guild Wars 3. The second reason is the last time Aura existed as its own country, as its own continent, as its own living lore was in the prequel of Guild Wars 1. If you play Guild Wars 1 as the core campaign, the Prophecies campaign, you are put into a starting area called Pre-Searing. And Pre-Searing is the only time in game history that Ore has existed pre-Cataclysm. So, doing a new campaign in that time period is viable. And then we have this, Raise Your Banner. A lot of people are saying that it goes back to the concept of Guild Wars, which at no point in time in the game have the actual Guild Wars existed. The actual Guild Wars are only lore that you can read about in the game and on the wikis and stuff like that. So a lot of people are saying the Raise Your Banner hints back to the Guild Wars. So again, going back to prequel time era. But also, in Pre-Searing, the Char are invading Ascalon. At the same time that they're invading Ascalon, they are attacking Ore. my final reason for thinking that this teaser is going to be Guild Wars 1 is this font. Raise your banner. It's not the fanciest thing in the world. However, if you pay attention to the E, the O, and this E, they all have this diamond shape in the middle. The only Guild Wars art that exists with that diamond shape is for Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars Reforged. So, I think we're getting an expansion for Guild Wars 1. That's me personally. I could be wrong. I just think that that would be the best way for them to bring people into Guild Wars 1, bring people into Guild Wars Reforged, get people to do the mobile version of Guild Wars Reforged. Because right now, I think they're kind of gonna struggle to get people to come into Guild Wars Reforged on mobile, since they could just play it on PC and have a better experience probably. Plus not have the gazillion microtransactions that Guild Wars Reforged on mobile is going to have. And I think all of that is to raise funds for Guild Wars 3. However, let's backtrack. Let's go back to the second theory. That all of this is a teaser for the next expansion pack for Guild Wars 2. And that is why we're in game today. I haven't played through Visions of Eternity fully yet. I did the first chunks, Shipwreck Strand. I haven't done Starlit, Weald, or the story that just released. But what I'm seeing is a lot of people saying that the story in Visions of Eternity sets up the possibility, potentially, of time travel. And if that's the case, and this is for the next expansion pack for Guild Wars 2, and all of that, and we're going back to pre-Cataclysm or in the next expansion pack, I want to have what we have for Visions of Eternity storyline out of the way before the announcement is made on Friday. So that's what we're doing today. That's what the last 45 minutes has been preparing for. That's why we've been going through all of this lore, is I just want to know what the actual story is before the announcement on Friday, just in case what I think is a minute possibility ends up being the case. So, enough lore, enough digging around, enough of all of that. Let's get back into the story. Let me go here real fast to the story journal. I'm just gonna read through a little bit of this because we did some of this on stream, but you guys haven't been with me for a lot of it. So what we've done for storyline up to this point is we received word in Lion's Arch that the inquest, the Asuran inquest, was up to something, and we really didn't know what. And so we started investigating that. And in the course of investigating that, we discovered that the inquest potentially found a new region of Tyria that had been lost to history. And so we followed them, and in the process of following them, got shipwrecked here on Castora, which is that region of Tyria that has been lost to history. Yep. So that is all. That's pretty much what we did in our last stream. Everything that's happened since the last stream, there really actually wasn't that much story that I covered. Was just sort of investigating into the inquest and finding out what they've been doing. We discovered that they had, that they're looking for something to do with some sort of biomancy type stuff. There's untapped ley line energy, which ley line energy is kind of what connects the entire world. It's what allows all the waypoints to exist and a number of other things that go into excess lore that I don't really feel like going into. What else did we discover? The Inquest are up to no good. The Inquest are always up to no good, honestly. Ooh, I'm reading. And really, so we've been investigating what the Inquest is doing. We don't really know what the Inquest is doing. And the last thing that I did with the story was fight the Cyniskull of the Waves, who was basically rampaging in Starlit, or not Starlit Weald, Shipwreck Strand, after having been antagonized by the Inquest. And we were able to calm her down, and now we're in Starlit Weald, and we're continuing to investigate the Inquest. So I've got a couple of things that we need to do first. I have this. It's Commander, I know you're occupied with your pursuit of Inquest forces further inland, but if you have a spare moment, I could do with a further expert pair of eyes on an escalation situation in Shipwreck Strand. I can say no more in writing. Please, if you're able to help, meet me on the cliffs overlooking the Dark Leviathan just south of the waypoint. I think this is a side quest. I don't think this has to do with the main story. Let's look at the main story real fast, just so that you know we don't really have much here. I have somebody that I need to speak to here, Colonel Ruff, about Alliance affairs in Starlit Weald. He is over here, so let's go talk to him. I did not expect it to be in Asura. Hello, little dude.
Wayfinder, good. They respect you, at least. Your presence should prove helpful.
Having trouble balancing all the factions here, Colonel?
To put it mildly, they're all focused on their own objectives, but we have higher priorities to handle first. For starters, this camp is hardly what I'd call secure. What if the Inquest were to attack? We also just need more intel about our surroundings and potential dangers. We know next to nothing about this place.
I'll see if I can take care of a few of those problems for you. Just try to keep them away from each other's throats.
Alright. We need to track down the scouts.
Another day in paradise, eh, Wayfinder?
We need to track down all the scouts. Okay. Let's see what all we've got here. They're all over the place. I love that we don't have any sort of objective stars. Let's just start looking for them. Oh, there's one. Hello, fellow Silvari. Commander, good to see you. This forest is something, isn't it? Especially the creatures. What sort of creatures have you encountered? Some of them are familiar, like Moas, but others are that I've never seen before. One was a great armored beastie. It reminded me of those adorable bristlebacks I once saved. Bristlebacks are not what I would call adorable, personally. Anything else? I don't think they're the only large creatures stuck in this forest based on some tracks. I still be careful out there. Okay, so that's point 1. So there's bristleback-like creatures around here somewhere. Here's another one. Wayfinder, good. I've been tracking the rivers in this area, and they might provide easier travel for us than slogging through the dense forest. What have you found? Well, I'm still charting... What is that pink thing following you around? That is my familiar. Let me... Where is he? Where'd he go? There he is. That's my familiar. That's my bunny familiar. He is... I can have a bunny. I can have a fox. Here you go. There's the fox. I can have an otter. the rabbit that you've already seen, the Bun Bun, and a toad. They are basically just they're a class specific type of skill. You have to play Evoker to get them. But the Bun does massive amounts of crit damage, basically, is what he's for. He's to help me with damage. The Fox also does damage. The Otter heals, and the Toad does support. So let's go back to Scout for a second. What have you found? I'm still charting the layout, but it looks promising, although I did encounter some Inquest presence along the river north of here. They can use, yeah, they can use the rivers for travel, of course. That would leave us vulnerable. You raise a strong point. I'll send requests to the Colonel for structured skimmered patrols so we aren't caught by surprise. Skimmers are... This one's skinned, but they have fast over water travel, basically. That's what skimmers do. But that one's skinned to look like a bird. That's not what they look like normally. That looks interesting. Get back onto my war claw. Yes. Yes, as an evoker, I can summon up to 4 different types of familiars. They each have their own special skill set. Oh, I'm outside the circle. Let's get back inside the circle. I thought I saw a dot. I did not see a dot. There's one. Let me tweak the sounds just a little bit here. Dialogue up, effect down. Okay. Kestrel Tool. It's good to be back in the forest again. If I squint, it almost feels like home. The size of some of these trees could make them fit right in with those in Echovald. Echovald is a completely different region. Have you gotten a view from higher up? Briefly, I'm still mapping out paths for traversing the canopy between the perches. Do any of these perches have good sight lines to see approaching danger? Several, yes. When I'm finished, I'll head back to camp and give a full report to Colonel Ref. While we're here, because we needed to talk to her, you wanted to see me? Not here. The cliffside over. Oh, so it won't let me continue that conversation here. Go figure. Okay, we have one more. Scout Yakuti. That sounds like another Asura, probably. Or a non-humanoid. Oh, journal.
Adding it to the map. I wonder what the Gwildel used them for. Food? Rest? Some sort of ritual?
What are Gwildel?
Wayfinder, you're just the volunteer ecologist I needed. Take a look at this ring of rocks, will ya? I'm studying the Gwildel. Based on my research, they might be related to tree ants. They're really powerful, a little mischievous. The Gwildel tend to rings just like this one. I've found them all over the forest. The rings themselves are quite powerful, too. Usually they're bustling with Gwildel and seeping with ley magic, but this one is dormant. Nothing, like an unconnected conduit. Maybe the inquest tempered with them. Regardless, the Gwildel seem to be avoiding it now, and there are others like this. If we can tend to the ring ourselves, maybe the Gwildel will return, and then I can study the magic more holistically.
I love the way that she speaks. She just has that sort of sing-song voice to her. Okay, research on the Gwildel. These creatures, the Gwildel, I believe, are a marvel to study. I'm not sure whether this is due to instinct or if it is a learned behavior, but they've been observed tending to various natural anomalies throughout the forest. They seem to linger near wells of light energy, and when those wells are disrupted, they flock and tend to the flow of magic until it's repaired. I haven't been able to earn their trust, so I've yet to conduct proper analysis of what they truly are, but given their gentle nature, I'd rather they come to me on their own. I was able to collect a single fecal sample, and after testing it, I sound mad, I know, but I suspect they may be related to trance. Their magical composition is so dense that I'm a bit appalled they're not more ethereal in nature. It's as if they're manifested from the forest itself, but they're also corporeal. Fascinating. Okay, that's not who we're looking for. We need Yakuri. I have no idea what the Gwildel are. I have a suspicion, though. Oh, these are one of the natural forms of skimmers. They've evolved to look like this here in Castora. I'm not a fan of that evolution, to be completely honest. The other natural form of skimmer is... Where's my skimmer? This is what these skimmers originally looked like. Kind of like manta rays almost. I think I'm gonna change mine. Yeah, we'll leave him as that. The bird doesn't really fit. Okay, we're looking for Yakuri still? Is that the one that we still haven't found? Yes. Oh, is that? Nope, that's a player. Might have to go to the wiki to figure out where this dude's supposed to be. Go get that hero point real fast. Actually, I don't need the hero point on this tune. Never mind. This character is maxed out on hero points. Oh, hey. Oh, it's just showing me. Showing me that. Never mind. Let's die. I hit that Moa. Weald. Such an interesting name. I cannot for the life of me find Yakuri.
There's so much here. We need to catalog it quickly before anything happens.
We're finding a lot out there.
Nope. Oh, there he is. Pocket Arch. Archomorph. Okay. Oh, dang it. I pissed off a bird. Okay. Yakuri. Yakuri is Alonian. Yeah, I was right. Alonian. We're certainly a long way from Alona now, but despite that, I somehow spotted a Choya. A Choya here? Are you sure? It looked more like fruit than cactus, but trust me, I recognize those chittering voices and that waddling gait anywhere. Maybe we should try to make contact and see what they know.
Things are calmer around camp for now. Guess I should make sure everyone is doing okay out in the field.
Well, it headed north, so maybe that's where they're living. I spent enough time with Narcisse in our voyage to know she'll be interested in this. Yeah, I bet she will. We now need to talk to Magister Caden in Tranquil Glen. He's over here. The idea of talking to a Magister is, concerning. That's gonna be another freaking Asura. Ooh. The what? Okay, well, this area is absolutely fascinating. It's not an Asura. This is so pretty. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Commander, how delightful. You've come to the right place. The magic is absolutely overflowing here. This place is defined by magic. It permeates everything, the plants, the animals, even the soil itself. We need to understand it better to know what we'll face here. Perhaps you can gather some samples.
Hope the. Oh, that's why. German Priory. Got it. Why do I feel like this is a trap? It was not. Shockingly enough. Scaran Toron Pink Catmander. Well, we will not be going to that because that's outside of the story. There's another one? I'm absolutely fascinated with this area. It's so pretty.
It's beautiful, but I'm completely threatened by this place. Keep your eyes up, Commander.
We need to be threatened by it, though. I mean, so long as we don't do anything to the place itself. Well. That Aboga followed me a long way. I fell. Oh, hey, I can stay mounted and do this. That's useful. Still got a couple more left to grab. Not 100% certain where they're at. There's one. Wow, this area is absolutely gorgeous. There's one. Alright.
This is wonderful, Commander. I'll get right to work.
Ember Doomforge. That is a char if ever I've heard the name.
Can't say it's much of a surprise to see you skulking around, Ember.
A tiger can't change its stripes, Commander. We're trying to get a network of listening devices set up to keep track of the inquest. And anyone else who might be moving around out here. You already know what I'm gonna ask.
All right, but only because it's you. I'll see if I can find some good spots for them.
I'm trying to remember Ash Legion. That makes sense. It's like, I know this person, but I can't for the life of me remember who she is. She's one of the Ash Legion people from the Court Char storyline. I remember now. Oh, hi! Inquest. Oops. I'm going to get attacked. Alright. Next. Oh, I cannot mount. That blows. Putting them down on the ground where anybody can attack them makes so much sense. Oh, it let me mount that time.
Hey, Wayfinder. You...
Yes, I can.
Hard to see from here. Should we get in for it?
Any you could grab for me would be...
All of these mini quests popping up. I'm busy, guys. Here we go. First mate Kiango in Tranquil Glen. That's gonna be a human.
Make sure the damn thing is weakened. I don't want it attacking us while we're transporting it back.
I do not have combat functionality.
What's going on here?
Found some kind of special inquest golem not far from their base. Followed it out into the woods, then disabled it.
It seems like it's got a bunch of unique parts. Gotta be worth a fortune. Shut up, Zeke, you stupid dog.
You're going to sell it. To whom? The Inquest? The Priory?
Seems to be able to think on its own. Someone will pay big for that.
Did you ever think that might make it valuable to us? We're not selling it.
What? That ain't your call. We earned this payday fair and square.
Look, Commander, I respect you, but you've got to understand. We don't work for free. I'm happy to give you the golem. It'd save me the trouble of lugging it around. But you gotta compensate us. You don't want to be relying on angry sailors, trust me.
What will it take?
Gold is always good. But if you left your money at home, you could always find us something else to sell.
Let's see. $10 taking it. That's so easy. Question PTM. I've got 500 gold. It wasn't that big of a deal.
You weren't cheap. What can you
Yes,
tell
you
me
were.
about the inquest here?
I am PTM, otherwise known as Prototype Machine. No, that's not it. Was it party time, Mech?
Focus, PTM. I need info about the inquest.
I apologize. It seems I have been damaged by your friends. That is kind of you to say. I must return to base for repairs at once.
No. I don't think that's a good idea. We have people here who can fix you.
I'm afraid I require special equipment for maintenance. Otherwise, I would be happy to assist you.
Well, then you just stay put and I'll go get the equipment. But then you're going to tell me what you know. Got it?
That is an agreeable arrangement.
I feel like it's gonna be something like Pet Translation Machine or something like that. It's gonna be something so totally obscure. What does the wiki say? Does the wiki say what PTM stands for? It does not. Alright, well. Let's move on in here. Where is the story chunk? It's over here. Okay. Here we go. Enter instance. Beneath the canopy, command complex. I really hate dealing with the inquest. Honestly. Oh, must I? Wait, do I even have... Okay. Overtly Ooh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh. Fine, screw you. I'll fight you. I think one of the achievements, because I think there were 2 achievements when we got in here, I'm pretty certain one of them was not being caught. We have now been caught, so I'm just gonna say screw it and just go in. That hurt. Yeah.
I'm getting pretty tired of being stuck on watch. Why aren't experiments doing this work for us?
Are you insane? Those things are completely unstable.
Head up the stairs into the command center. Why did I have to disable the turrets if I was just going to come over here? Really?
Needs to repeat that artifact research is to be conducted only under items, each more valuable.
Oh.
You will be expected to pay suitable restitution.
Hi. You got a new game to gang? What did you get?
I should not need to repeat that artifact research is to be conducted only under supervision. These are delicate items, each more valuable than the collective lives of every one of you.
Huh?
Naturally, if one of them is damaged by your incompetence, you will be expected to pay suitable restitution.
You were not helpful. It's even less helpful as I cannot mount in here. I think we just need to go kill these guys over here. Grabbed somebody else's attention on accident. This. Hell Let Loose. I have never heard of that game. Okay. There's gotta be something up here that I just didn't see. Oh, it's down. Wait, what? When did it go down? Okay, whatever. Hi.
When I'm finished with you, they're next.
There weren't any guards. I'm going to die. I really should not be in here. Here. Oh shit, I'm stunned. Fuel a second. I'm on the right equipment. I think I am. Woo. Ow, 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 ow. need a heal. I need a heal. And out. Ah, no. No! Damn it. Do not want to die right now. I've almost got it. Heal. Alright. Give me a second. I need to check my equipment here, because that was not good. Because all of my stuff is... Yeah, I'm running it as a Sully build. That's what it is. Okay. I might have to not run it as a Sully build. It's the control panel for the electric grid. Scrawled on top is somebody's handwriting. Seb sucks. Seb sucks. He won't be happy about that. Let's turn off the grids. Enter the main level upstairs. Okay. We're about to have another fight.
It is an incalculable delight to finally meet you, Commander. Your reputation precedes you, as I fear mine must precede me. I think you'll find me quite unlike the tales you've heard.
Have I heard tales of you?
Both of us are far too busy for that. I want you to help me save our world.
Wait, what?
I wish I had time to explain everything now, but Kuda's guards are closing in. We can't be seen together. Not yet. Suffice it to say, I am not your enemy. If anything, I am your sincerest admirer. You represent what we are at our best. Eteria will face many more trials in the years to come. We need more like you if we're going to be ready. We can't do that while all the power rests in the hands of those like Isgarin. It's time to return Tyria's destiny to the hands of her people.
But why Castora? What are you looking for?
Isgarin really hasn't told you what was hidden here. Or the Council, what they sent me here to find.
No. Confidential missive. Let's read that. Okay, it is with considerable excitement that we await the results of our joint venture director.
More readily than you can imagine. And they'd have kept it from you forever.
Really?
They can't be trusted. Neither can Isgarin. I will tell you more when I can. Take this comms device and anything else you need. A token of friendship.
Okay. Let's finish reading. I don't think we have much time. We need to finish reading.
You can't be here.
Yeah, nope. Okay. Front screen. Fight. I really need a better build for this. Although... Hey.
We have an intruder in the base. Reinforcements are on their way. You know what needs to be done. Don't fail me.
Back. I just want the repair kit. Nope. Cannot go that way. There's the repair kit. Make a hasty exit. Gladly. I am going the wrong direction. Oh! We're outside. We're outside the instance. We can leave. Alright, let me find somewhere safe real fast. Okay, dang. I'm gonna read that, oh no, it didn't screenshot. But there it goes. It did screenshot. It was delayed. Okay, it is with considerable excitement that we await the results of our joint venture director. Now more than ever, it is vital that we reinforce this council and the uncertain people for the journey ahead. The artifacts and technology that you will bring back to us will form the foundation for a new golden age. We must remind you, of course, to honor the terms of our agreement and bring your findings back only to Radasum. We have, after all, invested significant capital in your equipment and provisions. In return, we will ensure that any impediments to your expedition are prevented or significantly delayed. We look forward to an update on your findings. The bottom of the page is marked with the official seal of the Arcane Council. The Arcane Council is up to bullshit. Alright. So what is Hell Let Loose about? Because I have not heard of it. Oh, new instance. I will be back in a second, okay? away for 5 seconds and I heard maniacal laughing as I got back to my desk. Buddy. What's going on in my guild chat? Oh, just world content. I am not interested right now. It's not what I'm online for. I needed to grab a snack. Okay. Continuing on. Oh. So like a first-person shooter type of game? What does PTM have for us? Oh, okay.
According to an index search, my name is Matthew. That can't be right.
That is probably a wise idea. PTM is now in a powered down state, ready for repair procedures to be started. Let's see if we can get you working properly again.
Now you're an expert in golemancy, Commander.
Yes, apparently.
Did you even find the time? Delegation is the mark of great leaders, Commander. You could stand to do more of it yourself.
Yes, we probably could.
Hoist by my own petard.
You set yourself up for that one, Canuck. Yeah, no.
It seems your new friend has finished rebooting, and thus my duties here are discharged. Ah, yes, of course. Someone has to keep those miscreants out of trouble.
Are we going to find out what PTM stands for now?
Indeed. My systems have been repaired, and I can now officially introduce myself as Prime... At any rate, I am pleased to assist you with any questions you may have.
We really do not know what his name is, do we?
He served in various posts within the inquest prior to assuming the directorship. These include as a lead field researcher and originally as a golemancer. Before that, he was a hydrological engineer in Radasum until... Records show he filed several official warnings about the structural integrity of the Magus Dam before it collapsed. The Arcane Council formally dismissed these warnings and barred him from taking any action himself.
Wait, what?
That is the end of his time in Radasum. There is a gap between that and his time with the inquest, but no records of it are available.
Just a second. Magus Dam. We have nothing about what the Magus Dam is on the wiki. Probably the only thing that we have reference to is a region in Radasum called Magus Valley. There is a ton of water down there. Oh, wait a second. Magus stones. Okay. Think I know what it's referring to. Let's take a look here at some maps real fast. Browser. All right. So this area right here, this little giant ass pyramid thing, is Radasum. Now, in Guild Wars 1 time period, Radasum was primarily over here. That's what this overlay is showing. It's showing the overlay of Guild Wars 1. And this area out here was called the Magus Stones. If you look at the map for the Magus Stones, this entire area was land. We have this thing right here, which appears to be a waterfall. But I think after we get done with this instance, we're going to go up to Radasum real fast. I bet that's what he's referring to for the Magus Dam as whatever it was that collapsed. We don't actually have any lore for it yet that I'm aware of. We know that this area right here is Magus Valley, and it ends right where that waterfall looking thing is, and then we've got all this water down here. So if a dam collapsed, obviously there would be like a crap ton of water everywhere. So I'm curious to see if that's maybe what it's referring to. So what is Vlox looking for specifically?
None of the orders issued to the crews specified any object by name or description. However, each of the assigned search locations is associated with the Seers. The status for each objective is still listed as open, so the desired objects must not be collected yet. That is all of the information I have security clearance to access.
What else does PTM have to give me? I'll take that mastery point. Anything else I could see? You're an unusual golem for the Inquest to have. Who built you?
According to my internal registry, curious. It's not corrupted data. It just appears no one ever filled it out. Engineers are often quite busy, however, so some gaps in documentation are expected. But my primary purpose is intact, and that is to provide companionship and constructive feedback. Ah, yes, that is what my name stands for. Platonic Time. I will remember eventually.
Oh, gosh.
No, unfortunately, it has to start with P, T, and M. That would have been a good guess otherwise.
I swear it has to be Pet Translation Machine. It has to be. I can't think of a single other golem in the game that has been able to translate animals.
Very well. It is fortunate that I arrived when I did to protect him from those brigands. This is a dangerous place for a young gentleman like him to be without a proper escort. He is also nearly as adept at companionship as I am. One should never let one's ego grow too large, Zeke.
Alrighty. Alright. So the game wants us to go wherever.
Investment now to cover our transportation costs. Then,
Up here.
once we get back to the mainland, we can pay you back triple what you gave us.
All our gold's tied up, you see? And it'd be a shame for you to miss out on this rare business opportunity.
And you promise to repay triple my investment when I return to the mainland?
Of course! You have our word. And we've got our reputations to think about too, you know.
I mean, if we were to deceive you, why, we'd never be able to do business like this again.
Well, thank you for letting me in on this opportunity then.
Oh gosh. No, 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 no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Ah, we can't talk to her. Alright. Go up to Terria real fast. That is the best accessible waypoint, it looks like. Obviously, she's getting scammed. It's just ambient technology. It has nothing to do, or ambient dialogue. It has nothing to do with the actual like storyline at all. Oops. All right. Oh yeah, this was definitely a dam that collapsed. Can we get up there? I doubt it. Land here. No, I can't. I can land over here though. Yeah. Oh, you can get up here. This is like an official area. It's got a POI.
How are your endeavors progressing?
Okay, that wasn't helpful. No.
will your endeavors progress?
Interesting.
How interesting.
What's this? Nothing. Nope. Not the mount that I want. Thank you. This is the mount that I want. Can't actually see what ought to be back there. Well, regardless, this is obviously the dam that is being referred to. And it has most definitely failed. There's something down here. Oh, I fell too far. Oh, hi, I'm in jail? What? Alright, fine. It doesn't matter. Let's go back to our actual story. I fell far enough to end up in jail in Radisum. Not something that I thought I would ever say. Okie dokie. A second. It has a message. Holy crap, no. I will be ready for the year to be done. I am so tired of getting political text messages. Is that something that you have to deal with in the UK, Unseen? Do you guys get political text messages on election years?
Handle a skimmer, right?
Yes, I can, but I'm not here for you.
Magic samples out here.
Not here for you. It's so easy to get turned around here. Another point over here. Waypoint. Not really. You guys don't have to deal with that? That's nice. I wish we didn't have to deal with it. Not.
Well, Commander, it sounds from your story like you've got yourself another admirer.
Makes no difference to me what Locke claims to want. He's the target all the same.
Makes some difference. I definitely understand what he's saying. Not hard to imagine a better Tyria than the one we have.
Oh, come on, Ritlock. He's leading the inquest. Have you seen what Zeb is doing?
Remove every monster from the legions, and there'd be no legions left. Same goes for the Sly crew.
That's not a fair... I mean, we don't even know if he's telling the truth.
If I may interject as the resident ex-radical of this ensemble, it seems clear that Vlox believes what he's saying. There would be easier paths to power if he didn't. The real question is what he's willing to do for his ideals.
Got any insight on this, Commander?
No.
I think we need more information. We can judge Vlox's motivation once we know what his plan is.
A thought on that. Those monstrosities that Seb has been creating are clearly controlled remotely. That means there's some kind of connection there we might be able to get some information from. So, is harvesting cybernetic reptile brains outside your wheelhouse, Commander?
Is anything at this point?
All right. We must collect data banks from
Welcome
creatures.
to our camp, Commander.
What are the pocket archomorphs? Oh, they're weird. Oh. These are the new pocket raptors. That's what they are. Yeet. Those are definitely the new pocket raptors. Transcended wave. Okay. Not gonna lie, that's kind of creepy looking. Oh wow, that's cool looking though. Hi. Oh dear. That's where I'm supposed to go with this. Is it still with me? No, it must not be. It must have been...
This place is pretty incredible.
Young hunters the mouths of these beasts.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on. We're looking for augmented creatures. There we go. I must heal. Do I have... Damn it. I really didn't want to fight you. I just want you to know that. We can try the scepter. What does the scepter give me? Yeah, that might be a little bit easier to survive with. We'll see how the scepter works. Yeah, I can be ranged with this. I can't be ranged with the dagger. At least not as much. I really don't want to fight you guys. I want you to know that. Bye. Continuing on.
This is quite a haul you've got here, Commander. Let's see what I can get out of them.
Let me know when you find something. In the meantime, there are more creatures out there that need to be dealt with.
Of course, because why not? Alright, what are my 2 locations that I need to go over there, and I need to go over here, and over there. There's 3 points total. Let's go hit this one up first, because it's the closest one. Bypass all of those. We're gonna be tackling these guys real fast. Apparently I had rescued Saurians to take somewhere.
Not sure what Canuck was able to find, but he headed south with Saida. Looks like there's a lot of inquest in some ruins down there. Might want to catch up with them before they get in over their heads.
Hopefully that gets rid of my abandoned Saurians that I rescued. Oh, hey. As it so happens, we just need to be right here anyways. Next instance. Yes. Ruins of the Old World, Untamed Crags. Okay, so before we continue on, because I think we're about to sort of get into this a little bit, Vox, I think it was, mentioned, or it may have been PTM talking about Vox. I can't remember which. One or the other mentioned the Seers. What is this announcement? I'm not interested in that arena net, thank you. So let's read up on the Seers real fast because they're kind of important. So oh, and actually this kind of ties in to, okay, so I'm pulling the browser back up for a second. So this, if you guys remember, oop, I just closed that link. That's okay, that's not the link that I needed actually though. So you guys remember this on the release your banner thing? Or raise your banner? The circles, these circles back here. Now, let's look at this. So this is like seer alchemy circle type stuff, which is part of the reason why a lot of people are going and saying that this may be the Guild Wars 2 next expansion, because this kind of hints at tying back into the Seers, tying back into this. But we also see some of this a little bit in Guild Wars 1, 2. Again, related to the Seers. So, I don't know. The other thing... Here is our only known modern-day seer, Iskarin, who we know Vlox did talk about. Vlox is saying whatever he's doing to protect the world is actually going to doom the world. We'll find out more about it, I guess. I assume. Seer. So, seers, this is very much... very limited amount of information here. Everything related to the Seers has been the mini X-Packs, basically. We really haven't discussed them that much in Guild Wars 2. If we go to Guild Wars 1, you can see there's, like, not a whole hell of a lot to discuss here. We have a single seer that we interact with in Guild Wars 1, looking completely different from this dude, mind you, except for, like, you know, the forearms and the floating thing. But different graphics eras. There's a lot here that I think may possibly be tied to the story, so I'm not going to read any of it, really. This is kind of what we need up here is the Seers were an enigmatic and magical race who were responsible for creating the original Bloodstone and Shadowstone. They briefly allied with the other elder races of the Doors, the Forgotten, the Jotun, and the Marsat to oppose the elder dragons during the previous Dragon Rise. Guild Wars 2, in its core, was about this dragon rise and fighting the dragons. We have long since beaten them, but now I can't help but wonder if we're seeing ore in those teasers. And we're interacting with seers now. Maybe it is a prequel? I don't know. The point of the seers being is they're very magical, they're kind of reclusive, the bloodstones were some sort of ancient kind of magic. I don't fully remember the whole thing about the bloodstones. But I think we're getting ready to hit more stuff dealing with the seers. So just keep that in mind, the whole magical race from prehistory of what we have looked at so far is basically what we're getting at here. Back to the game.
Do you hear yourself? We're talking about the inquest.
And once they'd have said, do you hear yourself? We're talking about Canuck. You have to at least consider the possibility that your enemy is making a good point.
Not yet, but we have to be close. Lead the way.
Why am I leading the way? You're the ones who found the information. Yeah, locate the seer ruins. So, continuing on.
More intruders!
More test subjects.
More intruders, more test
subjects. Are good, and I don't believe they are. That doesn't excuse working with the inquest. Having a worthy cause doesn't mean you can just join up with a bunch of violent criminals.
My dear, you are a pirate captain.
She really doesn't want to listen to Canuck, does she? Oh, I didn't mean to hit the deer.
So what are you proposing we do, Canuck? Just take Locks at his word?
I'm merely suggesting we don't need to slam that door shut. Perhaps we can work with him. It'd certainly be easier, no?
Alright. Oh, well, and now we have this. That arch looks a lot like the arches in Ore, doesn't it? Wiki Ore. The Theers weren't directly involved in Ore based off a quick skim of the wiki.
Looks like the Priory have got themselves in trouble.
Thank the Six for you, Commander. They've been interrogating us for hours and didn't care for our answers. They kept asking about the artifact, but they wouldn't specify which one they meant. We've examined so many already, how could we possibly know which one they were looking for? But they wouldn't listen. Respectfully, it's more important we resume our work. Can't let them scare us away. Our camp isn't far from here anyhow.
I suppose we should do some looking around ourselves?
Yeah. Something over here to look at.
But they certainly weren't short on time. These must not have seemed important to them.
They weren't studying these to figure out their history or function. They're just testing for how much magic they exude.
They're not here to study the seers, clearly. They're looking for powerful magic.
Let's see what else we can find here.
I'm sure they got up to all sorts of rituals around here.
Maybe there's one that's more important than the others? Anyone's guess as to what it would be, though.
His guard would know.
Well, at least someone dealt with a few of them for us. Which suggests something important was kept here.
Why is it that everything wants to kill you, Commander?
Oy vey. Nope. I don't want to be in the middle of that. How do I not have line of sight for this? Alrighty. What the frick was going on with that? Okay. Guess the next thing to explore is the archway. That looks a lot like the archways in Ore. But not quite the same.
Such ornate grandiosity. I should really copy the style for something.
Don't worry about me, Commander. I don't get rattled that easily. We're honestly overwhelmed with the amount of raw information here. It's gonna take some time to draw conclusions from it. Right now, we're just focused on gathering everything up before the inquest can get to it. But if you want to know more about the Seers in general, you should talk to Melissa. No one in Tyria knows more about them than her.
Well, it's clear that the Inquest are searching for a specific artifact, but we're still in the dark about what it is. Maybe this Melissa can shed some light on it?
Yeah, Iskarin is being very hush hush.
A beautiful, tragic place, teeming with possibilities and fraught with danger. It's clear to me why the Seers guarded it so jealously.
They still do, clearly. Isgarin hasn't been any help at all since we got here.
Nope. Iskarin has been very hush hush. I do not like it. Wait a second. Guys, what if we're wrong? What if it's not ore at all? Oh no, that isn't. That's not an aqueduct. This is something else. Okay. No, this is definitely okay. So that's not an aqueduct. So it could still be ore. I don't know. Now I'm starting to question if it isn't something seer related.
I'm looking for historian Melissa. Is she around here?
She's on an excavation around here somewhere. But honestly, we're too swamped for me to go look for her. While you wait for her, maybe you can assist us with getting things settled here? It'd be a big help.
I hate this part of this. I don't feel like doing the heart. Help by cleansing warded artifacts. Use skimmers to clear debris and detect inquest spies and relics and complete nearby events.
Why do I always do this? I see an opportunity for exciting fieldwork and I just leap at it. And I somehow always forget that there's obviously never a hot bath or a soft bed in the field.
Also good. after it.
How am I supposed to... How do skimmers clear? Okay, well... Eh. Skimmer water jets. Oh, we don't have that yet. Okay. The meta is going on. We will be ignoring the meta. If we don't ignore the meta, we'll get spoiled if we don't ignore the meta, and I don't want to get spoiled. So we're going to ignore the meta. Tablet fragment. Oh, that failed. Has nothing to do. What is this tag? The text on the tablet is heavily damaged, only a small segment is legible. Is, after all, no greater honor to be born a seer. We are stewards of this world, Terriers, masters and protectors. We have no need of gods or spirits to guide us. We rise to godhood ourselves through our rights and through our own strength. Never forget that, and the rest of the tablet is reduced to power and lost forever. Okay, so the seers are very self-centered. There's one. working? A warded artifact. Okay. I misread it. Well then. I don't think we're gonna handle the warded artifacts anymore. That was a bit of a pain in the ass for no reason. We'll try one more. And we're not going to because I just dropped it.
Yes!
Oh, 50% there. Fighting Inquest give us substantial. Alright. Another artifact right up there. Why am I in combat?
Where'd Madbrush head off to?
Almost. Try with this one more time. I failed. Okay, I'm not doing that again. I know I said that once already, but I mean it this time. I'm not doing that again. Just look for our small artifacts. One. Oh, yeah, I know. follow up with your...
You're a lifesaver, Commander. And right on time, too. I just saw Melissa get back to her tent a minute ago.
Really? Okay, that was kind of creepy.
This is a welcome surprise. Is there something I can help you with, Commander?
Historian Melissa, I'm familiar with your work. You're our resident seer expert.
What passes for one? We still know so little about them. What we've learned here so far already surpasses everything we knew before.
I'm trying to figure out what they were doing here that the Inquest is so interested in. Any ideas?
Well, we're still working on that, unfortunately. But I have a map of some of the locations we haven't had a chance to excavate yet. You can probably gather them quicker than I would, but I'm happy to tell you everything I can about them once you do.
Okay. Now we have to do a collection. Alright, on unanswered seer questions. While much has been made of the seers' connection to magic, the theory that they possessed a once great civilization that has since been lost appears to be entirely baseless. I don't know about that one. While the proponents are quick to point out that the destructive capabilities of the Marsat for explaining the lack of surviving architecture, they miss the more obvious explanation. The Seers never built them in the first place. In all likelihood, they were primarily a nomadic people, possibly early Agarian in some places. But there just exists very little evidence to suggest more than that. Supporters of this idea also frequently reference the oft-repeated legends of the Seers and their influence in the ancient war against the Elder Dragons. What they fail to recognize is that this fits in perfectly with one of the most common archetypal myths. The ancient powerful civilization who once ruled over the world, but then fell and left us to take over. It's entirely possible that the Seers played a role in the conflict, but that doesn't mean that these myths can be taken as literal truth. If the field of study is going to experience any success, we need to avoid expending our efforts searching for evidence we're unlikely to ever find. While not technically impossible, the likelihood of discovering a massive lost seer structure is indistinguishable from zero. It would be more sensible for us to focus our efforts on better understanding what we've already uncovered. Whoever wrote this is going to have to eat their words. I guarantee it. Especially based off of that tablet that we just found where it basically said, we are capable of becoming gods.
Well, the situation isn't improved exactly, but at least it's stabilized. This place is much more frenetic than my previous expeditions. The potential is high, but so are the stakes. Still, incremental steps are the only way anything gets done. I consider today a success.
Okay. Early findings. Another exploration team returned earlier. I've pored over their findings, and one thing that's becoming increasingly clear is that this just couldn't have been a major population center. Something's hitting me. I'm busy reading. Thank you very much. Leave me alone. Thank you. Away. Okay. Another exploration team returned earlier. I've pored over their findings, and one thing that's becoming increasingly clear is that this just couldn't have been I can't read right now. Cool. I feel like I just saw a dragon fly overhead. Okay. One thing that's becoming increasingly clear is that this just couldn't have been a major population center. There are no homes, few living areas at all, and none of the infrastructure needed for a town, much less a city. I'll concede that some of these structures are massive, and obviously this place served some very important purpose, but this is not the lost capital city of the Seers that others seem determined, or that others seem to think it is. Determining why they chose Castora and what they built here will be an important focal point going forward, but we need to be careful to see only what is actually there. Some of my more optimistic colleagues think that the capital city must be further inland, and I can understand why. The civilization was once the mightiest in Tyria, so surely we must have simply not found the ruins they left behind. But I offer instead a sobering theory. We will never find it because it's gone. The Masalik cast down every stone they found, and the only reason ruins remain here is because they never found this island. We should treasure everything we uncover here because it's likely to be the last we ever find. Are there other stories for us to read? Here we go. Scrawled notes. We're going to do a little bit of reading real fast. On examinations of architecture. More detailed examinations made of the key structures today. These styles share similarities with few other Seer examples we have, but while those show evidence of integration with other early Tyrian cultures, the designs here are truly unique. Interesting. It'll take time to ascertain their precise age, but it looks like these really do predate anything else we've found before. And yet they appear even more complex and detailed than the structures that came later. This suggests a possible decline in craftsmanship, but why? Possible theories. The mainland examples represent a divergent group of seers who broke off and lived separately and thus developed a separate culture. The mainland examples we found were from a remnant of the overall culture that survived for an undetermined period of time after the destruction of their civilization. The mainland examples are really just evidence of non-seers adapting the ruins for their own purpose. Further study will be needed to determine which of these hypotheses is likely. Next. The stone tablet over there. Okay. Canthan technology.
I tell you, I may not go back at all.
Stone tablet fragment. The text on this tablet is heavily damaged. Only a small segment is legible. Beneath the stars, like Watcher's eyes, careful crept we, oathbound three, and underneath our cold disguise, our hearts alive, happy, free. When long we, and then the rest is lost to time. Cool. I think whoever wrote that determination that the Seers were not that advanced and probably didn't have a massive civilization, yada 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 yada, I think they were wrong. And I'm really, 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 really starting to question. Do I still have it pulled up? If this is in fact or if this is not something related to the Seers. Guess we'll find out. 3 more days, right? Let's see what we need. Oh, hi. We're getting attacked. I don't want to be here while we're getting attacked. Use notes historian Melisa gave you to locate promising excavation sites for finding Seer artifacts. Okay, I have notes somewhere, apparently. I'm not seeing notes. No, I don't see notes. Okay, where is Melisa? She's over here. Can you give me some directions I should look in? Okay. Got one there. Here. Here. All the way over there. Ruined baggage. Okay. Nope. Do I have to collect all of these? Are you going to be kind enough to leave them marked on the map? No, you are not. This is when we do this. I would like my desktop, please, and thank you. And I want Bush Hood. Give Bush Hood a second to load. And then... looks like it's already updated. Passing. Okay, update. Thank you. Restart. Let's see. Okay, pathing. Oh, geez. Pick it all in one. There we go. Visions of Eternity. Achievements. Digging for knowledge. That's the one that we need. Oh, he doesn't have it. Digging for knowledge. There it is. Go. Okay. And then you. Why no show? There we go. All right. Go find our pieces. Object 1. I'm not doing this in any proper order. I can tell you that right now. I'm just going to the next one that I see.
cages down there.
Go get these ones up here.
Spare no one.
It's an ambush! Cover the flanks!
Not here for the event, sorry guys. At some point in time I accidentally closed this. Okay. Dirt. Gotta make our way in here to this one next.
Some help over here. Rain down some hellfire.
Nope. I'm just here for the artifacts. Thank you, though. I thought I got this one. I did. I wish they would have given us like an actual path, like efficiency path. Oh well. Not actually giving us anything to read or anything. Not true. I bet there is something for us to read. Move this over here for a second. Move over here where it's safe for a second. Okay. Melissa's notes, yada yada yada. Okay, so artifact 1 is a ritual tool, a small ornate rod with a wide head. It looks a bit like a kitchen implement and may have been used to stir ritual components. Item 2, broken totem. This carved stone's totem lower half has been broken off, but the extant piece appears to signify a star. 3, muddy plate. This seems like it may just be an ordinary dinner plate, which is still a useful part of the historical record. Item 4 is the ritual bowl. This bowl was made into a shape too unusual to have been used for food, though what purpose it served is a mystery. Worn seer coin. This unusually large coin features a seer face on one side and a staff and a star on the other side. How much was it worth in their society? Next item, ruined baggage. It's hard to visualize the seers carrying around luggage, but everyone needs to move things at some point. Decayed cloth remnants. These cloth fragments haven't fared well against the passage of time, and they have to be held very carefully to prevent further damage. That gives us absolutely nothing. Corroded weapon. It appears to be a large mace with a heavily corroded head. Whether it was practical or ceremonial isn't readily apparent. Faded grimoire. Most of the contents of this heavily bound tome have faded beyond legibility. It will take a very skilled historian to recover any information from it. And the faintly glowing stone. This stone hums lightly with residual magic, but too little is left to determine whether it's a faded shadow stone or something else entirely. Alright. Those are the things that we are working on collecting currently. Let me look at the map real fast. One, two, three. Let's go get this one, then that one, then that one. And then after we do this, we're probably going to call it for the day. And we will pick up again on Thursday. I don't know. We'll see what she has to tell us. It's starting to get late, though. I'm starting to get a little sleepy. I might need a nap. Stone tablet. Right. Yeah, it's only 3:30 here. That's why I said nap. I beg of you, do not perform the rite. You're not ready. It will only, and it will await you in the future. Please reconsider the past before yada 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 yada. Whatever the rite was, it was not something that should have been taken lightly, apparently. I need to come up here. Okay, what does Melissa have to say? Okay, it seems the seers were a very magically aligned culture, and there's evidence that their creation surpassed anything we've seen. Prior to Castora, we assumed none of it had survived. But here evidence of it abounds, and what we've seen suggests culture focused on ascending higher and higher. They seem to have elevated their culture to a religious level of reverence, even. And here on Castora, we're seeing signs that was a hierarchy of ascension within the culture as well. They allude to a path to the highest level walked only by the most deserving. That's the end of it. Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Whether it will... But whatever it was, Castora was the center of it, and they abandoned this place entirely rather than let anyone have it. Really makes you think.
This is incredible, Commander. I could spend the rest of my life studying just what you've brought me. But as a quick assessment, a lot of these seem to be ritual objects, totems and the like, suffused with magic. Castora must have had a deep religious significance to them, but the specifics will take time to tease out.
It sounds like an answer isn't going to be that easy then.
It seems unlikely, but I promise to report anything I can uncover quickly. Oh, one more thing, Commander. If you wouldn't mind asking Iskarin if he could talk with me for a bit. I'd love to pick the brain of an actual seer to help me put this all together.
So would I.
Learned anything useful?
More confirmation that the seers were doing something significant here, but not much about what it was.
We've beaten around it for long enough, Commander. It's time to find Isgarin and make him give us some answers.
Good luck. And yeah, that's the end of the chapter, so this is a good place to stop.
It's urgent.
Well,
now what?
Didn't mean to eavesdrop, Commander, but it sounds like you're looking for Iskarin.
All right. So yeah, that's the end of that chapter that we've been working on. So we're gonna go ahead and call it here. Tomorrow we're gonna be back in Minecraft, and then Thursday we're going to pick up where we left off. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope that you have a good evening. I'll talk to you later. Bye!